The big brand sale is now on at OK Furniture. Spend 2,999 or more and stand a chance to win one of 20 shopping sprees worth 1 million rands. View our latest catalog and shop these amazing deals by the 6th of April 2025 while stock lasts. T's and C's apply. iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting. iDiski Times, CO.za. As Bafana Bafana traveling to Cote d'Ivoire, playing against Benin. Benin, one of the countries that are not able to play these CAF matches or FIFA matches in their home stadium. So they have to play in the neighborhood in Cote d'Ivoire. Bafana Bafana going there, winning, thanks to Lyle Foster. Not necessarily the best of performances, really, but of course they got what they needed, which was the 3 points. And they're now getting closer and closer. We don't know what's happening with Nigeria. They're far away from us, actually, but Rwanda was winning. That's perhaps the team that's getting closer to us, even though I think there's maybe a 3-point gap between us and them. There's still the story of Uteboho Mokoena, who played in a game, even though he was suspended or he had accumulated 2 yellow cards. We don't know what CAF will say about that. For now, we are all in the dark. But of course, if Tebogo Mokoena is suspended or if that 3 points is deducted, it was important for us to win this game. Lindo Pep, our analyst, what did you make of the game, sir?
Yes, sir. Let me greet you just Ngulisi chairman, technical director, Ngulisi Bobzin. Congratulations to Hugo Pros and obviously getting maximum points in Benin. 6 points out of 6, which is a good return for us. We don't know what's happening with regards to the game, Lesotho, but it's important to mention that when you profile the tactical approach, it was ideally that Benin has slow defenders but very quick players up front. You're looking at the physicality as well in midfield. I think he wanted to match the physicality with talent and no Obas, which in my opinion you play with Jaden Adams because you needed a technician, you needed a general. But
if he wins, people don't care. So.
Yeah, but
so he won. We didn't play properly. He won.
Yeah.
People don't care. So.
Yeah. So you've got 2 players ayang pound for pound into midfield, but to check alapakna support in midfield abaveli even ama center back more petty ball. In the first half of the game, you find the fact that Usbisi udlala ngathi uPilo or Xavi Alonso playing a vertical pass, but now Usbisi with that pass he plays them too central. He needs to play them vertical sometimes or diagonal. But ungezana today no lentuza they were ama playmaker with. We relied so much to release the final pass or the secondary assist. Urile played very well in the first half. I think Unyamalele off in the second half. International, I think it's because of the physicality. I think the intensity of the game. I think for me, Hugo Pros, nama technical team, nama analyst wake, I might say they got this one wrong, even though it is a result, because they anticipated that Benin will be
they will be all over us.
Yeah, they will all over us.
To attack full on, whereas the opposite happened.
Yeah.
Benin thought South Africa, big country, and then they defended.
Yeah.
They were nowhere to be found.
Yeah, and that's where we needed people who can take care of the ball a little bit better so we can find our forward players. I think there was lack of movement.
And this is where, as you are saying about Mufukeng, not a good game, I actually think that his game was affected by the fact that he didn't have midfielders who could find him.
Yeah, for me, those deep diagonal balls were not working for us. They were not because even though we can find him, some find Sagama 2 players. Because if you are check up with a mid-low block now, every time people go wide, they double up on those positions because they understand the strength. I think the right hand side was not functioning today. I think Beslalanga double right back because he also understood. I think he went into the game thinking very defensive, that we need to be defensive, we catch them on a counter. Because playing a player like Umurena, it tells you that he wanted Umurena to defensively and also run behind because he's got the pace. The idea really was to bring the intelligence because you see on the left-hand side, I think our attacking organization was based on that. Basadien occupies as an 8, sometimes you find him as a 10. He helps Abskuma build up processes. I think really plays more of a free role. He can go in, he can go out. He plays where he's more comfortable. I think that maybe that's why we couldn't find him because Abo Obas bekumele bavele ba receive ba dlala forward pass ba combine no Tau sometimes as an option in midfield for an option so that we can find people like Aborile, we can find Morena. That also makes Ufoster move a lot. You know, Ufoster moves a lot when Utau is there because he vacates that central area because Utau wants to occupy base. He comes into the pocket and he wants to run behind and occupy the bases guma center back and Lyle Foster has to be there. So now Lyle Foster he thinks to myself, okay, let me vacate, leave him there because he's probably an experienced player. He understands the respect to pace, and respect the career. Even me, I was having this conversation yesterday to say Do you take Upesi to the to AFCON? For me, you take him.
That's not a question.
Okay.
He has to go.
He has to go, Nkolego, for me. He has to go.
AFCON.
You cannot win AFCON or compete to go AFCON with just kids. No matter how much I love really.
Even if you're going to bench him, he has to go. There is such a thing as respecting people's careers as a coach. So, for example, if Umshishi was not injured and he had been playing this whole time, but maybe for the past 6 months he was not doing well, there is a consideration as a coach to think, if I have 23 men, I need these older guys to guide these guys. The guys that Abo Mufugeng look up to. There is space for that. Even if you're not going to play him, there's space for older guys. Not a lot, but maybe 2 or 3 of them were an inspiration to the younger guys, even if you're not going to play them.
Yeah, Nkolego, it's very important because Upesi, when it comes to training, when he watches Upesi arriving in training 30 minutes before, and Upesi being playing in England, winning the CAF Champions League several times, playing in all the big teams, when he watches Upesi give his best in training, that motivates him. We need that. We need a player like Usbisi, who's very vocal, who's a warrior, to help the younger defenders that we have. I like the combination that we have. Yes, we Oprageko in the national team, but I'm very convinced looking at the fact that we are already preparing for AFCON. I like the fact that we've got Basadien, similar profile on the right-hand side, Umdao, even though in the final third, he plays the ball to the goalkeeper.
Where would you place Basadien? Does it stay at Stellenbosch one more year? Does it go to Sundowns and play half of his matches that he played because he has to fight with Umudiba? Or does he play at Chiefs or wherever? Like where, if you're looking at him, where do you place him, or does he move overseas?
For me, Nkulego, to be honest with you, these are the decisions that Orlando Pirates need to make now. You saw the combination in the first half. Looks very comfortable. I think he's going to bring the best out of Urile if he goes to Orlando Pirates. I think the best suitable club, in my opinion, is your Orlando Pirates. Your Orlando Pirates wants to win the league. They're competing in the CAF Champions League. That's the space he wants to be. He doesn't want to go to Chiefs because he still has to build a club. I don't think he's in a phase in his career where he should be going to a club that's building. He's coming from a team that's doing very well, Stellenbosch. He doesn't need that in his career. Maybe a different left back can go to Chiefs that still needs to improve and
but
make
you see
a
the
point.
combination between him and Mofokeng?
Exceptional. I think it complements him. I think he's so comfortable on the ball that he waits for Urile and he has the composure to wait for Urile to make the right run, feeds him the ball, and understands how to support him as well. He can support him under, he can support him over. For me, I think he's got the right delivery, he's got the right football, and I think also, it's very important, he's a better defender. I think 1v1 anticipation, and so many games I've watched, I think he looks better as a defender, complements Urile. The only thing I was surprised with was the right-hand side. I always say, Bafana Bafana needs to balance my wing.
Well, he killed that. I think the coach deliberately killed that. I'm not agreeing with him. But if he wins again, very difficult to put an opposite point of view because he wins. People look at the highlights. We won, They don't care about whether or not the match was good. He killed the right-hand side. He played 2 right-backs there. He did that against Nigeria in the semi-finals of the African Cup of Nations. We lost on penalties. He did it again today with Morena and Umudao. He killed it because he anticipated that the opposition was going to attack, but the opposition did not attack.
Our game lacked a lot of imagination, to be honest with you. It lacked a lot of vision, it lacked a lot of imagination. It also lacked individual brilliance. International football has special players that have the quality to win football games for themselves, which is something that we lacked. For me, we lack also the imagination in midfield. This I'm very passionate about because for me, modern footballers in general, I've said this, modern football gave us average midfielders. We cannot have a profile of 2 sitters that have characteristics of centre backs. I cannot have a 6 and an 8 that plays as recyclers and you have a left back playing as a 10. That says something about me. Angikwazi ukuthi ngimidfielder nami ngivume ukuthi ibhola ngilibheke ngathi ngibheke ita. Ibhola lijump obas lijump talent so many times in the game. That means it tells you already.
And they were not availing themselves for the ball.
It already tells you that Hugo Bros already what he thinks about them to say. Asikho sure ngani. Asinthembi even if singani in a high pressure zone that you guys can be comfortable to receive and turn and drive with the ball. They always receive where there's no pressure. But receive a full back position. And if you understand football is not played there. And the players that are supposed to receive in those positions are receiving in high pressure zones. Abo Basadien, Abo Mdao. For me, I cannot have a 8 or a 6 that doesn't keep it defense splitting pass.
I have 4 interviews to do tonight. Happy with the win?
Happy with the win. But I have to mention this, Ngolego, and I've been mentioning it all the time as dude. Hugo Bros is not my favorite coach, but I support him.
All right, there you go. Thank you very much. That's, of course, the sentiment will reverberate throughout the nation as well. As long as you win, it's ignorant, it's dumb, and it's very childish, but it happens. It captures many countries. If you win, yay! If you lose, whoa, agahambe. So it's always going to be that. The moment that the coach will be discredited or criticized will be when he loses, even when he plays great. You see, for some of us, if he plays great and he loses, it's like, oh, well done, you are on the right track. Even if you're losing, as long as you're playing decent, you're dominating opposition. But for the rest of the people, 90% of the people globally, as long as you win, we don't care how you did it, even if you sacrifice the careers of our children, as long as you win, we're happy. Because, of course, a lot of people gamble on football, a lot of people don't even watch football itself. iDiskiTV, iDiski Times, we're also spitting. For breaking news, go to iDiskiTimes.co.za.
Shapunjan bafowethu igama lami Lindo Pep, the best analyst in the country. Please don't forget to subscribe to iDiski TV. Tanko.
This is Bongane Benedict Villagazi, they call me so. Niazi bafethu, I'm a coach for life. They are back in winning ways. Please, I tell you to subscribe to iDiski TV.